Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming this session today. Nice to meet you too again. I'm excited to talk about how boosting mobile apps development using generative AI innovations. My name is Kenichi, and I'm from Tokyo, Japan. Have you ever been to Japan before? Oh, that's cool. Wow. Japan is my favorite country. I'm glad to hear that. And I have some hobbies, walking and running and swimming. So I came here by walking and swimming using 1 year. So I'm so exhausted. And yeah, it's my first American job. Yeah. Okay. Let's start my talk. How to accelerate our mobile apps development or using generative AI. This is my purpose of talk. Okay, let's get started. Let me introduce myself again. I'm Kenichi Kambara. I am a mobile apps developer and I develop a lot of mobile apps, more than 20 or 30 apps. And sometimes I make an international speech like this in the US or in Africa or in Asia and in the Europe and so on. And I have some books like this. I have some books about apps development or education. But unfortunately, these 9 books are written in Japanese. Yeah, yeah, it's available in Japan. I'm working as a tech evangelist at NTT Technocross. NTT is very similar to AT&T, the Japanese version of AT&T. Yeah, it's a telecommunication company in Japan. Okay, and I have X account and my favorite app. This is QR code. Please check this account later. And personally, I've released many mobile apps like this. One of my apps is a Sekai phone. Sekai means world in English, and phone is a phone. So Sekai phone is a real-time speech translation. If you speak in English, I can hear in Japanese. And if I speak in Japanese, you can hear in English. A real-time speech translation like this. And this app supports this camera translation feature. Taking English menu, I can understand in Japanese like this. This is a real-time speech translation app, and I developed this app with Flutter, Kotlin, and Swift. To develop this app, I use some generative AI to accelerate our developing speed. It's the purpose of my background. With this app, I visited some countries. Each country has its different culture. Through these experiences, I learned a lot things. To provide more attractive features, people all over the world, so AI was super effective to accelerate our mobile apps development. Today's goal is here. Even if you are not familiar with mobile apps development, you can develop these simple apps like this. And the center figure means it's just this screen, but unfortunately, the center figure has a performance problem. By using AI, we can analyze and improve this performance. And the right one is the Arabic version of this app. I cannot speak any Arabic, but using generative AI, we can easily implement all these Arabic screen like this. So I'd like to introduce these features. Here is this agenda, my motivation and conviction. And next, how to get started with mobile apps development. Next, it's a main topic, introduction to developing apps with generative AI. And I'd like to add some extra tips and best practices. Okay, my motivation is here to provide mobile apps in the app market. We have to complete a lot of tasks. For example, maintaining compatibility for the latest or older operating system. For example, to publish our apps on the Google Play Store or App Store, we have to catch up the latest version of operating system requirement. So it's very tough to catch up these latest OS. And this app market has a very strict requirements for developers, such as App Store and Google Play Store has a very strict rules. So we have to clear these requirements. And to provide our apps, we have to complete our coding, debugging, testing, and so on. And sometimes mobile apps development, the trend of mobile apps development is changing day by day. So we have to catch up how to refactor our app or how to modernize our app. So we have to clear this point. So many tasks to provide our mobile apps. But using generative AI, we can accelerate our development speed. So my conviction is here, generative AI can accelerate our product release cycle. Okay, getting started with mobile app development. Here is a market share data by StatCounter. This data shows a mobile operating system market share worldwide. About 70% user is Android in the world, and the rest of 30% users is iOS. So to support most users, we have to at least these Android and iOS. And cross-platform apps development trend is here. It's data by JetBrains. Interest has steadily increased over the period from 2010 to date. This Google Trends chart illustrates. So more mobile apps developers tend to use cross-platform tools now. So it's a trend. There are so many cross-platform frameworks like these: Flutter, React Native, Kotlin multi-platform, .NET, and so on. Each platform has each different pros and cons, but this time I'd like to focus on Flutter. And get started Flutter app development. There are three steps: Flutter Basic, and DevExec tools, and simple app development. Okay, first topic is Flutter Basic. I think everyone should know Flutter, but okay, does anyone have experience to develop Flutter apps before? Okay, only one. Only two. Okay, a little. Thank you. Okay, This is a Flutter logo and mascot. It's a cross-platform framework for supporting multiple from a common source. By using Flutter, we can develop apps from scratch. It's very useful framework tool. And luckily, by using Flutter, we can easily support a lot of OS like this. In addition to iOS, Android, and we can support web, some desktop environment, and macOS, Linux, and so on. By using Flutter, we can easily support these platforms at the same time. And Flutter has unique features. In these unique features, there are three main features. First one is a beautiful user interface and high performance. This is a screen capture of Flutter Showcase. And according to this page, a lot of mobile apps were developed with Flutter like this. Flutter is used by many mobile apps. And Flutter has a very attractive feature like this. One of the attractive features is a hot reload. To test our mobile apps, sometimes it's very difficult to test our app on the real smartphone. But by using hot reload, we can easily test our code on our real phone or emulator like this. After changing the code and just saving the code, we can easily test our code like this. And third point is to develop Flutter apps, we have to write Dart. Dart is a programming language. Dart is very similar to Java or JavaScript, like this. To show Hello Flutter on the screen, we have to write only this just 10-line code like this. And data code start from main function like this, and it's very easy to understand. It's use a very easy widget like this, center widget and text widget. A widget means like a user interface component. Yeah, it's a very simple code, so it's easy to understand and it's easy to get started. Okay, introduction to developing apps with generative AI. There are several ways AI can help for app development. There are some examples. For example, by using generative AI, we can accelerate these steps from code generation, code review, refactoring, modernization, debugging, test case generation, performance improvement. We can use generative AI for each step. Okay, and I'd like to show a demonstration for each step. My first try is how to generate our code using generative AI. Sometimes to develop mobile apps, we have to write down a lot of source code, but it takes a lot of time. But with generative AI, we can cut out our development speed. So it's very beneficial to accelerate our development speed. Sometimes when we have to code mobile apps, we have to write down some boilerplates, but it's very complicated and it takes a lot of hours. But with generative AI, we can cut down this step. Okay, before showing demonstration, I'd like to introduce this step in a short word. Uh, to develop a Flutter apps, which tools should we use, and how should we start a simple app development? I'd like to introduce these points in advance. Okay, first, dev exec tools. We have to use two tools like this. Tools related to Flutter for developing app and generative AI such as ChatGPT, Gemini, or any other AI tools for accelerating our development speed. At first, tools related to Flutter. There are two patterns to develop mobile apps. First pattern is it's very easy with a browser environment. It's run on a cloud. And second pattern is to use IDE such as Android Studio, VS Code, or IntelliJ IDEA. There are two patterns like this. And these two patterns are very different. First pattern is a very quick approach. We can easily start our mobile apps development. So this time I go with this pattern using with browser-based that part. That part is like this. By accessing your laptop or any part, you can try this demonstration like this. The URL is here, that part.dev. This cloud-based tool can easily make us implement our source code like this. Write down this start code and just pushing on run button, we can easily confirm the result of this code. So we don't have to install any tools on our laptop or PC. And luckily, sometimes we have to create the user interface. Luckily, that part supports all these UI. So, after writing down the Flutter source code, we can run this app like this on the browser. We don't have to install any tools on our laptop. So you can try this feature by accessing that part.dev. So it's a very good start for developing Flutter apps. And generative AI is a lot of tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. These tools make us accelerate automating or assisting in code generation. Okay, the first recipe is here with Flutter and generative AI. I'd like to create this simple analog clock from now. To create this analog clock, there are three steps like this. First step, generating the base code. It's a simple analog clock. At first, we should create the very, very simple analog clock. After that, modifying the app. And after that, continue step by step. By doing that, we can create this analog clock. Finally, Okay, let's show you a demonstrate. It's a ChatGPT screen, and I write down a create code to show an analog clock. If you have laptop, you can try the same app. And after that, ChatGPT replies the source code like this. This source code starts from making a function, and some user interface is like this. After waiting code generation, but it takes in a minute. And checking this auto-generated source code, and we can easily copy this code and on another tab on that path tab, and paste, and just pushing the run button. We can easily run the analog, a very simple analog clock like this. I don't write or any source code by myself, but auto-generated code can be run completely like this. It's the first step to create the Flutter app. Okay, let's review this step again. First step is we have to throw a query like this. It's called a prompt. In the generative AI world, create code to display an analog clock with Flutter. After waiting in a minute, the code will be generated like this, and just pushing the copy button and on that back tab and paste the code, and just tap the run button. We can easily run this analog clock apps. And each generative AI has a different feature using ChatGPT or using Gemini or using Claude. The appearance is a little different, but the feature is very similar. Each generative AI has each different pros and cons. But unfortunately, my goal is this analog clock, but now current analog clock is a little different. So we have to modify this code as we expect. So we have to modify our source code. For example, changing the clock's color from white to light green, or clocks appears too small. So we have to make this clock more bigger, and adding a clock face from 1 to 11 along the circle, and we have to do some more customizations. Okay, first modification is here. I'd like to change the background color like this. So we have to throw a very simple prompt like this. I wrote set the clock's background color to light green. After waiting a few seconds, the code would be generated like this. And after running this code, this screen would be shown. This is our first modification like this. But this app has more problems. It's because the clock is very small, so we'd like to make this analog clock bigger. And so I'd like to throw a new query, a new prompt like this. The clock is too small relative to the screen size. Please display the clock to fill the entire screen. Show only the code changes. It's my second prompt. Show only the code changes. It's the tips to utilize generative AI. It's because if I don't contain this sentence, if I remove show only the code changes from this prompt, generative AI would generate all of source code again. So we have to wait for completing from line 1 to the end. So we have to need more. So to cut off my waiting time, this is the tip, show only the code change. By doing that, we can cut off our waiting time. After running this modification, new analog screen would be shown. Oh, here is a new screen, but it's a problem. That's very funny. Clock is bigger, but the hand is very short. So it's a very funny clock. And so we have to modify this appearance. And so we have to throw a new prompt. So this is a new prompt example. The hand too short relative to the edge of the screen. Please fix it. However, show only the code changes. After asking and inputting this new prompt, the new clock would be shown like this. That is, you try? Ah, wow. The different analog clock.
I asked for pink, but it made them
Pink, yeah. Yeah. And sometimes,
It's pink.
yeah.
I love that it does exactly what you tell it to do.
Yeah. It's a problem with generative AI. Yeah. Okay. And okay, let's continue a modification step by step. My goal is like this, but we have to modify some points. For example, changing the color of the second hand. I'd like to change the second hand color from black to blue, and I have to add some numbers along the circle. And adding the 1 at 12 o'clock, we have to throw a new prompt to implement these additional features. But it's the same step as I explained. By going through step by step, you can easily implement all these features. Okay, let's move on to the second try. Debugging is often one of the most time-consuming tasks in mobile apps development. And so, to clear and solve this problem, generative AI is very beneficial. How to solve a build error problem? Generative AI can provide suggestion based on my question. Okay, I'd like to show one example. Here is an example. Sometimes auto-generated code and copy and paste on the that path and just run, but unfortunately sometimes it will not run as we expect with a compile or build error like this. But by using generative AI, we can easily solve this problem. The detail of build error is here. So we have to analyze the cause of this problem. Here is an example of a prompt. I'm encountering the following error in my Flutter or error the method but button isn't defined for the class. I've heard that front button is duplicated. How should I modify the code to resolve this issue? Please replace it with the recommended widget. It's the full prompt to solve this problem. After throwing this prompt to generative AI will answer to us like this. In the short one, Flutter button is a legacy API on Flutter world. So we have to replace Flutter button with new API such as text button or elevated button or outline button. And so it's a solution to solve this build error problem. After following this answer, we can solve this build error problem. It's the result after following. I changed Flutter button with a text button and just trying to run the app screen would be shown like this. Like this, we can solve this build error problem. But everyone think this prompt is very long, so it's very tough to create this prompt like this. But here is a tip for this problem. It's because generative AI has an understanding of context-aware responses. It means I input just only error, the method front button isn't defined for the class. Instead of inputting the whole program, generative AI can easily understand my request like this. So we don't have to contain these full contents like this. This tip will save our time. Okay, let's move on to the third try and about a code review. How can we ask generative AI to review our code? Here is a code example. It's very simple source code, but this code has a problem. If you are a software developer, even if you are not familiar with Flutter, but you can easily guess this source code problem. It's because this is a very simple Flutter source code, and just only showing a 3-line text for like this. But this code is very duplicated like this. Font size 20 and color blue, to set this style for 3 text line. I duplicated this style for each text. It's very bad source code. It's just an example. And so I requested the code review to generative AI. Please review the following code and point out any issues if there are any. After throwing this prompt to generative AI, generative AI would answer to my request. At the time, generative AI would answer to me, okay, code duplication as we expect. You have the same text style repeated for or 3 text widget. So you need to define a common text style like this. So by following this advice, we can modify our source code as we expect. It's the answer by generative AI. Like this, we can ask code review to generative AI. Okay, let's move to the host try with generative AI. It's about refactoring and modernization. As I said earlier, the mobile apps trend is changing day by day. So to catch up this newest mobile apps trend, we have to refactor and modernize our app. But we can ask this changing to generative AI. Here is a code example. It's a very simple counter apps. It's a hello world app in the Flutter world. So by using this app, how can we fix this legacy code to newest code? Okay, to modernize our source code, I can ask like this. Does the following code have any issues from the perspective of refactoring or modernization? It doesn't seem to have any problem on this code, but to be honest, here is a problem. It's because on the Flutter world, there are so many state management framework like this using set state. It's a very simple, but it's very legacy approach. So to provide better state management, we have to use some other packages instead of default set state management. So here is the answer by generative AI. Instead of using set state, you should use provider, real code, or block. It's the answer by generative AI. By following this advice, we can easily modernize and refactor our source code like this. By following this source code, we can improve our we can easily maintenance our source code compared to before. So it's a very important topic to develop Flutter apps. It's a supplement state management. And there are so many state management methods such as stateful widget. Uh, it's a very simple, but it isn't recommended on Flutter apps development or provider or using a report, a block, or getX. There are so many state management methods. To be honest, each state management has its pros and cons. So we should choose more appropriate choice for depending on the situation. Okay, it's a solution by generative AI. If you'd like to refactor or modernize our source code, this time please use a provider for better state management. It's just an example. Let's follow this advice. Okay, after changing the source code with provider, we can test this new source code on that part. And this code will be run completely as we expect, like this. Like this step, we can modernize or refactor our source code. Okay, let's move to the next topic. It's about performance or improvement. Sometimes our mobile apps doesn't operate as we expect. Very slow or so performance improvement is very important for mobile apps development. We can utilize generative AI to improve our mobile apps performance. Here is an example. As I showed earlier, it's very simple, showing some lines like this. But as you can understand, here are some performance problems like this. This screen doesn't show as we expect. The performance is very bad. So we have to analyze the cause of this problem. Before analyzing this problem, here is a code before optimization. This code uses a very legacy approach for showing multiple list components. I use a list view widget, and this list includes 1,000 lines. It seems it doesn't seem to so much problem, but here is a problem. And so let's ask to generative AI using this prompt. The scroll performance of the list is very slow. So I suspect there is a performance issue. Could you explain the cause and how to fix it? After throwing this prompt to the generative AI would answer to me the reason for slow scrolling is that or you are using or Refactoring to render all items, blah, blah, blah. In the short part, we should refactor this code using instead of list view, we should use list view.builder. By replacing this new widget, we can analyze and solve this performance issue. Okay, let's follow this advice by generative AI. And after that, the performance would be faster compared to before. Like this, we can analyze our app's performance and improve like this. So we can utilize generative AI to improve our app's performance. Okay, let's move to next case, test case generation. Testing is essential for app stability. But to create test code, it requires some time to prepare. And using generative AI, we can cut down this test case preparation. Okay, here is the original code example. It's a counter app, as I explained. How can we create the test code for this app? There are some test cases for this app. By just pushing the plus button, the counter must be implemented. And after pushing this plus button twice, the counter must be 2. This is a simple test case. But to provide this test case, we have to write down the test code. It takes some time, so I'd like to cut down this time using generative AI. Let's ask generative AI. Please create test cases for the following code. Following code is a simple counter app, as I explained. After asking this query to generative AI, generative AI would answer to me. Generative AI would answer to me. Unit test for counter. It's a business logic test like this. It's very easy to understand, and I can use this test case. And a second pattern is widget test for UI behavior. In other words, it means UI testing. So by using this code, we can test our UI test for the counter app. It's a perfect code. But here is one key considerations, limitations of that part. Unfortunately, that part doesn't support all of packages. Currently, supported packages is like them. Unfortunately, that part doesn't support Flutter test package. So we cannot test on that part. To test our Flutter source code, we have to prepare different apps development environment. And so to test our Flutter source code, we have to prepare IDE such as Android Studio or Visual Studio Code or IntelliJ. It's a regular approach for developing Flutter apps. That part is very easy to use, but it's not. Uh, mm, it cannot be used for developing regular mobile apps. Uh, in my opinion, that part is for just practicing to develop mobile apps. So to develop the regular mobile apps, we have to prepare this IDE like this. Okay, here is example. Okay, I can get the test code by generative AI and copying and paste to the Android Studio. After that, we can test our counter app as we expect. Copying like this. This is a test result. So the test case uh, generated by generative AI is completely runnable like this. Okay, let's move to the different approach. How to speed up Flutter app development with generative AI? It's a little advanced topic. Uh, Here is my Sekai phone app. This app supports 11 language to show the different language, Japanese, English, Arabic, and so on. Unfortunately, I cannot speak Arabic or any other language, but I'd like to provide this app to Middle Eastern countries. So I utilize these language features. So I'd like to explain how I implemented these features. Okay, here is an example. At first, we have to prepare the original language resource like this. For example, English language resource is like this, app name or mode talk speech and so on. It's a key value type. And Japanese resource like this. But as I spoke to you before, I cannot speak Arabic. So I cannot prepare like this code by myself. Instead, I can ask this requirement to generative AI. Here is an example. The following key value formatted file has values written in English. Please translate the value from English to Japanese. If I ask this inquire to generative AI, this new Japanese language resource would be generated. Like this, we can create Arabic language resource like this, even if I cannot speak any Arabic. Like this, we can utilize our development speed. Okay, let's wrap up our my speech. Personal insights. Okay. Though generative AI can sometimes produce information that seems true but isn't, but an excellent tool for brainstorming. And here are some tips to get better answers by generative AI. Clear and specific instructions work better. It depending on use cases. It means sometimes we have to throw a very specific prompt to generative AI. By doing that, we can get a better answer by generative AI. But sometimes we don't have to throw a very detailed prompt to the generative AI, such as error message. For solving error message, in many cases, we can just sending the error code into the, as a prompt. Okay, second pattern is like this. Generating only the difference saves our time. We don't have to the end of generating so the whole source code. And as I said, it may not always be correct. Highlighting the importance of two technical skills. It's because I can know we can easily develop very simple Flutter apps by generative AI, but in my opinion, we cannot develop complicated or very difficult applications just using only generative AI. So I believe we can utilize generative AI, but we should study and we should keep our software development skill. It's because the importance of true technical skill is very important, even if we use generative AI. Okay, it's my opinion. Okay, here is a difference. Again, my X account is Corduroy. So if you have interest on me, please check my account. Okay, conclusion. Utilizing generative AI as a tool speed up apps development. Okay, thank you so much. Feel free to reach out if you have any requests, whether for technical speeches like this. Okay, thank you so much.